J-T-A-L. While I'm sitting here.
Yo, what's good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy JTL back with another one. Before I get started, make sure y'all subscribe. All right. So, y'all see the title? Let's get there. I'm talking about this because I see so many different responses to what a strong man is, to what a strong father figure is, and we got to talk about this. And respectfully, everybody I'm talking about on here, unless they did something horrible, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but we just kicking the facts. So the first person I want to start off with is Brother Martin. Brother Martin. God rest the brother's soul. But he was the first, not the first person, excuse me. He was one of the strongest, if not the strongest, of why black men are not moving the way they used to move, because he was a liberal. You know what I mean? And part of that democratic movement that we first started seeing in the biggest way, besides Clifton Powell, the OG senator from Harlem, got arrested, so getting a lot of bills changed. What Brother Martin was able to do was unprecedented. You know what I mean? And then him pushing for us to be desegregated. So that was the first selling out, the biggest, you know what I'm saying? So you see this brother highly educated in classical music and all these things of that nature. And, he has this alleged drama, you know what I'm saying, that they said that he did. The FBI went to Coretta Scott King, God rest his soul, and was like, hey, the movement is bigger than my marriage. So rest in peace to her as well. Rest in power. But it bothers me because a situation like that, if you're moving like that, allegedly, and not one of the best men per se, in the image that you're moving, you're not moving like that at home. Allegedly, you're out there having affairs and things of that nature, but your wife is still being traditional. So why would you lie to the public and make it seem like that's okay? Allegedly. But in the end of his life and his passing, you see that he had that video, we come in to get our check. If you haven't seen it, look it up. He realized and said himself, he may have led his people into a burning house. Meaning that it shouldn't have been, let's desegregate. No, let's get stronger. And what we need to focus on is making sure we get the laws passed, the discrimination bills and all of that passed. Because we had cities that were destroyed. He was there for that church in Montgomery, Alabama that got burnt down with the 4 girls in the God rest their souls. But sadly, he thought that was the way to go. But still, may he rest in peace. But it wasn't the way to go. Us sticking to this brother right here, Brother Malcolm. We wasn't totally perfect in what people like what he said, but the real biggest reason why a lot of those people can't stand Brother Malcolm, because he said we need to stick together instead of running over there to them folks like Brother Martin was saying. And that is still true to this day. We decided to give up so much of our own and being on our own and letting God be our leader. We ran to those folks. Brother Malcolm was on by any means necessary. That's what he talked about, because he seen the atrocities that was going on with our people, and we seen what happened in Buffalo, New York. God will, I'm going to talk about that. I just got to muster up the strength to talk about that, because anybody who knows me, especially my partner HD, he know how we are on subjects like that. But for me lately, you know what I'm saying, within the last few years, things like that really irks me to talk about. But let me stick to the subject. Brother Malcolm, talking about us defending ourselves. We turn the other cheek, but it's not for somebody to slap us in the other cheek. Believing in being in Father. You didn't hear about him, thank God, being out there doing wrong to his wife. He was out there spreading the word, spreading the message of the Most High, respecting the NOI, and being a family man. And he's willing to give his life for that, even though he wasn't supported in the way he needed to be. But God told me it was his time. We've gotten away from that. And because of that, unfortunately, now we can go into what helped progress that mindset of no longer being strong black men and protecting our communities and our home. Bill Cosby. He was the biggest father figure out there. They call him America's dad. They didn't call him that for nothing. I doubt black men started that, and if black men did, a white dude stole it and ran with it, and it worked. He brought NBC back. God bless his show to bring NBC back, even when Cheers wasn't doing all that good, where it progressed to where you could see a Seinfeld and all of that. That was the Cosby Show. And I believe Friends was on there because of the Cosby Show. God bless that show to save that network. But sadly, he was doing the same thing that Brother Martin allegedly was doing, cheating on his wife. But his wife stayed down for him, being traditional, allowing this BS and holding down his house. Shout out to the sister Camille. I was saddened to hear that. While he out here chastising young brothers for what they doing, but you doing the same thing worse at your home and to women. But on this show, he was a simp. He let Claire punk him all the time, even though he wasn't that type of dude in real life. So that is like the epitome of where it became where we being simps. And I'm speaking about this because he was a doctor, but he went out there throwing dupes. He spoke against that. And then also, being a rich dude, that was something we didn't regularly see on black TV, which was cool as a dream. But he was out here doing terrible. So him not standing up to his wife as a man, him not, running his household with the protection, is where we started seeing, this is early 80s, mid-early 80s, where we seeing more black men trying to be like him and thinking that, oh, your woman punk you, that's how it's supposed to be. She a black woman, you be scared of a black woman. But in his real life, that was not Cosby's MO. And the reason why I say what makes this so important, how can you believe a man is going to be your protector if he's scared of you? Let's just keep it real. And I think that's why a lot of women go for the bad boys, because they want somebody that they revere. Cosby wasn't that. And that's what he pushed. That was the whole motive of what was pushed by him, even though he wasn't living like that in his real life. Now, let's go to another show that's similar to that way, but the dude was still talking more trash. The Jefferson Show. I like the Jefferson Show. Now, he would check Wheezy, no problem. Rest in peace to Sherman Hensley. But still, at the end of the day, when she go off and raise her voice, he chill out. Maybe he need that checking because he was tripping. But at least he talked a little bit of trash. But at the end of the day, the problem that I had with it was like, yo, don't be stupid. You know what I'm saying? Don't just run over your woman. She should be able to counsel you. But when she gets to that point, they have to yell at you. What kind of crap is that? I like the show still. But because of that, we started seeing more shows like Martin. Now, Martin was updated version to me without, Lionel, without his son, of the Jefferson Show. Martin would talk a lot of trash, kick people out the house, go back and forth with his antagonist, Pam, which was like the Jefferson Show, where Jefferson would go back and forth with I can't think of her name right now, but the maid. Same thing with Martin. He had stupid friends. Well, a stupid friend and a friend that was a trip. Tommy. Rest in peace, Tommy Ford. But it was a good show. That's one of my favorite shows. I know more people that like it than didn't like it. And Martin talked trash, but at the same time, if Gina said something, he crying. All this, I didn't like that. I like the way he talked trash, kicked everybody out, and played all his characters. But the problem was, that's where you start pretending like you the man. And I had a problem with that. But I would have to say, to me, in my opinion, I know my partner HD approves of this message, because this is his favorite show. Good Times. Now, when we talk about a real man, no matter what situation they was in, he stood 10 toes like a real man. So much so that even in real life, they had to get rid of him on the show. But this is where it showed the issues that they went through. He was a father. He worked hard. He protected and provided for his family. And his wife respected him. She would probably whine more than she would try to yell at him. She would try to give him counsel. And we wasn't being thick-headed. He would listen. But as a man, because I remember one episode, somebody they knew, I forget if it was a family friend or whatever, he tried to turn into a robber or something like that. And James stood up to him and stopped him, even when he had a gun on him and his family. That's a protector. That's a provider. That's a man of respect. That's a man being there for his family. And they killed him off the show because that's what happens to a lot of our brothers. I want to go more in depth in it. I'm going to definitely have my partner HD with me so we can talk about this again, have a part 2, Lord's willing, more about these shows and what we've seen in real life. But I just want to kind of give y'all a little bit of my thesis on what I feel it is, because they just try to say it's just drugs. It's just brothers committing crimes and getting kicked out of the house, being losers, leaving the house. No, they wanted that to not be the same no more. They wanted us to go ahead and survive off of the system and breaking up our families. Because this is what y'all don't realize. A lot of people like Black Panthers, MLK, The Nation, Malcolm, Brother Marcus Garvey, our families used to support ourselves, and they used to support the movement. That's why when you look at the COINTELPRO, when they talk about the rise of a black messiah, and they point out people like MLK, brother Malcolm, and Young King, Fred Hampton, rest in peace, and Bobby Seale, and Huey P. Newton, because they was talking about black families being strong and not being afraid to protect. So for all those naysayers, black females out there that don't want to hear the truth, this is the truth. Y'all just don't want to do y'all research. Y'all do your research a little bit and stop. But for the sisters out there that want to start learning and knowing what's going on, I'm just giving you a template where you can start at. Look at the movement. Look how it was destroyed. And then look at these TV shows where the dudes was not being strong. And if they was, they got canceled off their own show. That was their idea. Alright? This is part 1. I got to bring you another one. This is what happened to the strong black fathers. From TV to real life. This your boy JTL, opposite from the norm. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit that notification bell. Run it up to 1,000. And once again, shout out to my sister Pink Book. Blessings for sharing the video. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels again. I'm definitely going to do a video on that again, because it's some stuff being said that y'all tripping me out on. Some of y'all celebrities, black celebrities, who pose these strong black men. But it's all good. We'll be back. Alright? Chill.